Good afternoon. Welcome to the Long Live Third Parties podcast. Free Press Media Press, Inc., a third parties books publisher, sponsors this podcast. I'm Andrew Bouchard. Today I read the case Mcmahon v. Oswego County Board, 38, Misc. 3D 203, New York Supreme Court, Oswego, 2012. Friends, we're going to talk about a local office. A local office that may have ramifications for third parties. Friends, this case is a mixed bag because it involves ballot access petitions for third parties as well as the two parties. So we deal with them all. I don't want to do cases that just involve the Democratic or Republican parties. However, if our friends at the third parties are involved, I do want to do cases discussing that. So let us talk about what happened in this case. And we'll get back to that thought I posed at the beginning of the podcast in a moment if you're hanging in there wanting to find out about that office. It says, quote, "The above captioned matter is before this court's pursuant to Petitioner James Mcmahon's petition, order to show cause, amended petition, and amended order to show cause filed pursuant to Election 16-102, seeking an order invalidating the certificates of the nomination of the Oswego County Conservative, Republican, and Democratic Party candidates, as well as the Working Families Party of New York State and the Independence Party of the State of New York, filled with the Oswego County Board of Elections, which purport to nominate candidates for the position of County Clerk for the County of Oswego County in November 2012 general election, and enjoining the Oswego County Board of Elections from placing the names of respondents Michael C. Bacchus and Philip Vasho on the official ballot and voting machines as candidates for County Clerk for the November 6, 2012 election." End quote. County Clerk, friends. County Clerk. I wonder this. If your third party is running for County Clerk and you win, how do you implement your party's platform as County Clerk? I would love to find that out, specifically how you would do that. Oftentimes, the platform comes to mind when you are running for legislator or governor. But how do you do that as a county clerk? It might depend on the party and what you stand for in your platform. I would love to find out. As you heard, pretty much every party in New York is mentioned, every major party that is. There's Conservative, Republican, Democratic, Working Families Party, Independence Party. Republican Party, Democratic Party, we don't care about you getting on the ballot, but we care about the Conservative Party, the Working Families Party, and the Independence Party. The Conservative Party, by its name, of course, is conservative. The Working Families Party, from what I've read about it and what I've seen on social media, is progressive. The Independence Party of New York, I'm not 100% sure. I would say they are probably moderate, or they're a party that synthesizes. If you know more about this party and you're listening to this podcast, let me know what the Independence Party stands for. I don't know if it's the same as the Independence Party of Minnesota, and that party I was familiar with. So, friends, do you think this court liked Mr. Mcmahon's ideas? Do you think they wanted to support him? What was his grievance with these petitions? The case here states, in a lot of words that I'm going to summarize for you, the problem was this individual thought there was a state law. Instead of filing for office, these candidates, the governor needed to nominate because somebody died in the other county clerk before died, so they needed to nominate per law. So therefore, all these parties' petitions needed to be swept away. This case goes into a lot of detail about the different laws involved. And it discusses how it boils down to, in some sense, the way it was worded and punctuation, particularly a comma. As a writer, I am determined to focus on such things as punctuation because it does make a difference. I want to use the comma correctly. In graduate school, when I was doing my thesis, my advisor taught me about the Oxford comma. That was a long time ago. I finished my thesis in 2004, and I've been focusing on the Oxford comma ever since. So I know the comma is important. So friends, this can make a difference, but the court, in their view of the laws and other court cases involving such things, they believe that punctuation alone doesn't change the meaning of a law because you can play with the punctuation a little bit. They say you don't have to be that strict. They say sometimes a comma would be better and other things would be better, so you just got to do what you got to do. So what did they decide? What was the determination? Did they rule with Mr. Mcmahon or with our third-party friends and also the two-party people? Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be a matter where they would say the third parties get on the ballot and the two parties don't, or the terrible scenario where the Democrats and Republicans do, but the third parties don't. It was all together, for better or for worse. So they conclude the following. They say, quote, "It is therefore ordered and adjudged that petitioner James Mcmahon's order to show cause, verified petition, amended order to show cause, amended, verified petition are in all respects denied and dismissed." End quote. This is a victory for our third-party friends. It also is on that bus of victory. The two parties are seated too. So we got to take what we can get, and we got a victory here. Even though the two parties also got a victory, we got a victory. So these parties get on the ballot, and hopefully the voters voted for them. I don't know what happened in Oswego in 2012. Other than these court cases, I don't pay attention to every jurisdiction. I would assume our third-party friends didn't win, but maybe they did. Sometimes you hear about third parties winning in local areas, so it's possible. Whatever the case may be, we applaud them for fighting. Even though the two parties had to come along in our victory train, we still won. So friends, repeat after me. Long live third parties. Goodbye.